My name is Sabine. I'm mother of 2 adult children and I have been retired since April 2024. A deep desire to give back something to society, fueled by gratitude for my own life, has been my driving force for nearly 30 years.
I am Olga, born and raised in Ukraine, married and have a son. I am a physician ophthalmologist. I lived, studied and worked in different countries across the globe. And almost 20 years ago I met my husband and remained in Switzerland, which became my second home.
The fate of Ukraine has touched and shaken me since Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. When the country was invaded by its Russian neighbor in February 2022, I was overcome with sadness, anger and a sense of powerlessness. Yet I always knew that eventually I would want to make my own small contribution to humanity for Ukraine. A spark was lit when I read an inspiring article in the Neue Zürcher Zeitung in March of 2025. This spark fully ignited by meeting Olga a couple of weeks later. An unexpected blessing. She empowered me to realize my long-standing aspiration to switch from a passive attitude into an active one.
When a friend called and asked if I'd be open to meeting someone who wanted to help Ukrainian children, I didn't hesitate. I said immediately yes and was happy to share my number. At the same time, I must admit that the call got me a little off guard. Lately, the support we experienced for Ukraine in 2022 has deteriorated. But little did I know that Sabine's call would turn out to be an unexpected gift. The voice on the other end of the line was filled with warmth and determination. A person truly driven to help, sincere in her intention, full of energy, and most importantly, someone with a clear vision and a plan how to make it happen. Without hesitation, I said, let's do it. In the meantime, we were joined by more wonderful people from Ukraine and Switzerland who will give their free time and help our project to bring hope and help Ukrainian children.
Having previously been engaged in China and Cameroon, I felt the urge to again create a humanitarian organization for children, this time at the critical flashpoint in Europe. Sadly, the Ukraine tragically presented itself as that opportunity. After hosting a young Ukrainian woman and her toddler in my home for several months in March 2022, my resolve was strengthened, even more so when my guest tragically lost her husband on the Russian front shortly after moving in with me. His passing brought the war and thus death into my home in an unforeseen way. This was the catalyst for my desire to not only honor his memory, but also to take action.
I am a mother. My heart believes that no child should grow in fear, deprived of communication, having to give up their dreams. Every child deserves a voice, a safe place, and a future filled with possibility. My family often sees me cry when I read another story of a child who lost their parent or a grandparent, a classmate or a neighbor, whose house is destroyed or who is afraid to leave their home. This is happening very close to us in my home country. Being a medical doctor, I am aware of the immediate and long-term effects of trauma and mental health problems on children's lives. The signs can be heartbreaking, self-harm, eating disorders and even suicidal thoughts. And this damage doesn't stop in the childhood, it echoes through their future. Early support is the key to preventing these outcomes. Children cannot be left alone in this journey. And last but not least, I am Ukrainian. This isn't distant from me, it's personal.
That's an excellent question. My primary answer is that the time was finally right for me to make my wish a reality, both professionally and personally. The second reason? I only met Olga this spring.
We are not starting now. We have been active all these years, in fact starting from 2014, and did all we could. All of us, and in many different ways, be it taking in refugees, helping them to integrate in the work world, sending clothes, food or materials or for crafts to children in Ukraine, to name a few. In the early days of the war, support gestures of all forms were more common than today. Lately though, this outpouring support has faded. As the war goes, the problems have grown deeper, more urgent, more heartbreaking, especially for the children who are supposed to be the future of the country, and we want this future to be happy. Starting our organization is a natural progression of these actions and a logical step I have been thinking about for a while.
We're a small, dynamic and entirely volunteer-run organization. Our intercultural team combines expertise in the Swiss donation market with deep knowledge of Ukraine's cultural and societal landscape, including the language. This optimal synergy allows us to tailor our activities precisely to the conditions of both countries. Furthermore, the extensive network of our Ukrainian colleagues on the board ensures valuable additional on-the-ground oversight of our projects.
Our main values are transparency. We are open and bear responsibility for each donation. We make sure that donations reach children without any intermediate steps and are only spent for the purpose of the project. We prioritize impactful projects for those who really need help and using the methodology which is proven to work. Many of our team members have strong ties to Ukraine. We speak the language, know the culture, understand the needs, and thus can ensure that donations are reaching the children who you donated to.
Kryla means wings in Ukrainian language. We want to give Ukrainian children the wind beneath their wings and strengthen those wings so that they can thrive in the future. I very much like Kryla for its poetic sound and its symbolic meaning.
Kryla is also the title of my favorite poem by Lina Kostenko. It is a powerful and symbolic reflection of the inner strength, freedom and purpose that give life meaning. Rather than referring to physical wings, Kostenko speaks of wings as a metaphor for the human spirit, creativity, love and ideals, the invisible forces that lift us and give purpose to our lives.
I discovered Voices of Children in an article in the Neue Zürcher Zeitung of March 2025. From what I read, it seemed to me a reliable, professional and well-structured organization, one that was already familiar with collaborating with Western institutions. Our numerous emails and video conferences with our dedicated partners in Ukraine strengthened my belief that we had made the right choice. From the very first interaction, it feels as though we are speaking the same language.
Access to psychological support is crucial for children affected by war trauma, as it helps them process their experiences, rebuild a sense of safety and foster resilience for a healthier future. Unaddressed mental health issues in children can lead to long-term problems, including poor academic performance and learning difficulties, emotional disorders like anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem, social challenges and trouble forming relationships, behavioral problems and risk of substance abuse, physical health issues due to chronic stress, increased risk of suicide, legal troubles and antisocial behavior in adolescence, intergenerational effects impacting future parenting. Early support is key to preventing these outcomes. Art therapy is effective for children affected by war trauma because it provides a safe, non-verbal way to express and process overwhelming emotions, fostering healing and emotional resilience. It is important to note that the art therapy within the art labs of Voices of Children is one element of a complex psychological support and is not practiced alone. This integrated approach is effective across ages and conditions, helping children process emotions, build coping skills, and visualize their healing journey.
My greatest wish is that despite the pervasive global hardship and the resulting public fatigue, our small association can help ensure that the war-torn people in Ukraine, especially the youth, are not forgotten. We want to actively contribute to this. For 2025, I wish to be able to finance 4 camps for 20 young people each in Ukraine. In other words, to be able to raise a total of 4 times 13,000 Swiss francs, which is 52,000 Swiss francs in donations. We would be overjoyed, and the 80 young people in Ukraine even more so.
First, the end of war and suffering. But with an understanding of the long-term effects of war trauma, I want to continue our project and become a reliable shoulder for Ukrainian children, help strengthen their wings in their important journey of rebuilding the country. Please join our efforts to support the children in Ukraine. We hold on to the belief that even the smallest act of kindness matters, and we can make a big difference together. Our merged efforts will multiply and will be a rewarding experience for all, sharing our values and our strong will to give the children of Ukraine wings to fly and help them dream, rise, heal, and build a brighter tomorrow.
Thank you so much for your support.